Anyways, guys, yeah, this is we got the Unk Bowl today. Rodgers versus Flacco, like, oof. It's about as old as you can get right now in football. But anyway, yeah, week seven's getting going. Second, third of the regular season, all that stuff. Yeah, we gotta get through this game and also all the college football games. We're picking them today too. Let's get this thing going. And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fun NFL. Please like and subscribe if you guys enjoy the Week 7 Thursday Night Football preview. Also, again, this game should be pretty interesting as the 4-1 Pittsburgh Steelers will be heading to Cincy for their first match against the Bengals this season. They, of course, did not sweep them last year. I forgot about Week 18. But both these teams are in a very peculiar situation, again, as they look very, very different than what they looked like last year. Last time they met was actually technically still the same calendar year, which is still a little bit ironic. But anyway, for that, again, this is actually only second time ever there were, again, 40-year-old quarterbacks going up against each other as Aaron Rodgers, again, who has looked pretty solid with the Steelers, again, except PFF, bro. I don't know. Maybe after this week he looks a little bit better. But PFF doesn't really like him. And then, again, Joe Flacco, again, now in second start with the Bengals. But for the Steelers, they're 4-1. They've won 3 straight. They have not lost since, and actually, I think a month, technically, since they played Seattle. But they're leading this division by, what is it now? Two and a half games over the Bengals now. Again, the Bengals are actually in second place somehow. But the Steelers, again, have won 3 straight. They've looked really solid on defense, again, after those woes to start the season. And then offensively, they really haven't been that great, but they've been able to figure things out, and they've been good enough, which, again, has gotten the record they're at right now. But they're going against a Bengals squad that, similar to the Browns when they, again, came in that matchup at 8-2 last year. We're looking at the Browns and Steelers back in week 11 last year. The Bengals are looking a little bit more on the upside. Again, they have lost 4 straight. They have not been good on offense really since week 2. That might be pushing it. As again, we look at this Bengals team. Again, they benched Jake Browning after getting blown out by the Lions for getting blown out for the third straight week. They brought in Joe Flacco. He wasn't able to do anything in the first half. Second half started to get things going. But again, still for the Bengals, this is a defense that has really struggled so far this season. And again, offensively, even they've been absolutely horrible. So again, if you're a Bengals fan, again, losing Joe Burrow and all that, again, it absolutely sucks. But again, at least coming after like the second half of last week, you might have some confidence in this team, which is better than what you had again going into last week too. So again, there's at least some optimism here for the Bengals on a short week. This game will be at 8:15 on Amazon Prime as always. The way you can, again, announcing this game will be Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit, and Kaylee Hartung. Weather in Cincy for this game, it's going to be 61 degrees, a little bit of wind, clear sky, so really just perfect weather for this game for, again, these 2 old quarterbacks. Steelers starting lineup, you got Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, Mason Rudolph is his backup, Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell, they both get carries, really doesn't matter who you think's the starter. DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin's questionable, Scotty Miller, Roman Wilson, Ben Skoranek are all there. Darnell Washington, I guess, is the starting tight end. He had a big play last week. Jonnu Smith, Pat Freiermuth, they're also there. Connor Hayward had a huge touchdown last week. Offensive line is healthy. Defensively, they don't have anything crazy going on outside of the guys that, again, have already been injured, but they're looking really solid right now. Chris Boswell, Corliss Whitman, kicker and punter. Calvin Austin, again, is questionable, so again, Keyshawn Williams, if I had to guess, would probably get the return spot if he can't go. And you also have Christian Kuntz there as well. For the Bengals, Joe Flacco is their quarterback. Chase Brown, Samaje Perine are the backup running backs, as you can see, or not backup running backs. They're the guys in the backfield right now. Jamar Chase, coming off a pretty nice week. T. Higgins, not really so much. Andre Yosivas is also there. Mitchell Tinsley, like I said last week, is kind of faded away here. Noah Fant, their starting tight end. Offensive line-wise, Dylan Fairchild has been a little bit shaky the past couple weeks despite having a strong start. Amarius Mims has been pretty good, though, and the rest of the group is, they're who you think they are. Defensively, Trey Henderson's questionable. Miles Murphy would probably get the go if he can't, considering how bad Shamar Stewart's been so far this year. Josiah Osai, TJ Slayton, and BJ Hill have all been very good against the run, though. Linebackers have been interesting to watch. Logan Wilson really hasn't gotten back to any sort of being a huge-time playmaker. His cornerbacks have been shaky. Dax Hill's been fine, though, and his safety's actually been fun to watch. Ed McPherson, Ryan Raquel, kicker, and punter. They got a bunch of other random guys there as well. With that said, though, this game, when I look at it, it's not one that I'm going to really be too thrilled to actually go out and watch. But at the same time, again, with the 2 old quarterbacks, there should be some sort of value to it. This is the reason I'm putting in a decent matchup. Realistically, it shouldn't be this, again, good of a game. But I think that, again, at the very least, you're going to be intrigued to watch Aaron Rodgers versus Joe Flacco. Because, guys, it's very rare you see matchups even close to like this in terms of the quarterback battle. So, I can kind of, again, if you're an old fan or not an old fan, but again, you love 2010s football, this is what you're going to get with this one. It's still crazy to think Joe Flacco's still in the league. But anyway, with all that said, who do I have actually winning this game? Obviously, it's going to be the Steelers. Definitely a trap game overall. But But again, the Steelers coming off the bye, again, they're pretty fresh. Coming here to Cincy, I don't see why they can't win. It's definitely going to be a close game, but I'm going to say the Steelers, especially with how their defense has been playing, are going to win this one in a low-scoring effort, 14 to 10. Again, I didn't say it was going to be a great game. I just said it was going to be somewhat entertaining. So Steelers 14 to 10 in a pretty ugly game. That's what I got there. Now let's move to our college football week. What are we on now? 8 picks? Yeah, it's crazy. With college football already in week 8. And if you have not seen previous Thursday Night Football predictions, of course, this is the day that we do go through the college football games this week and pick them. Don't worry about the points. That's just I'll do that later. But this week there's definitely a lack of. I mean, there's definitely some massive matchups, but definitely not as many big matchups as last week. But anyway, we'll start this thing off with LSU versus Vandy. Vandy, again, didn't really play that well against Alabama in that second half a couple weeks ago. Didn't really look like that they were that good of a team. But LSU isn't even that good either. Their offense has really been just pedestrian this year. Again, they did lose to Florida. No, not Florida. Ole Miss, if I'm not mistaken. And honestly, that was probably the best that not Ole Miss. LSU's offenses look so far this year. Defensively, they're pretty darn talented. They have like 3 or 4 guys that I could see getting, maybe not picked first round, but definitely top 3 rounds in the NFL. Again, Mansour Delane Delane, I think that's how you pronounce it. I think that's wrong. But he's really good. But anyway, I'm going to say Vandy actually wins this one. I'm giving Diego Pavia some benefit here. I'm going to say it's going to be a good game, but I just don't trust LSU's offense right now. Garrett Nussmeier hasn't really been great, so give me Vandy in that one. Georgia Tech versus Duke. Oh, this seems like a really good upset pick. Georgia Tech's a decent team, obviously. They're 6-0. They, again, had some big wins. But, again, I think they're definitely a shaky 6-0. They barely escaped a couple weeks ago. Duke is a very talented team. They haven't really been that good this year, but I'm actually going to pick Duke in this one. I like them at home here. Again, I just don't really trust Georgia Tech despite having, again, Haynes King and stuff. But Duke with, Darian Mensah and, again, a very solid defense, I think that'll definitely help them out in this one. Arizona versus Houston. This is a tough one. Arizona's a better team. They have, again, Noah Fafita, and then you get Houston's, again, they're a strong defensive team. They run the ball pretty well, but I don't love what they have at receiver, so I'm going to actually go with Arizona in this one. Again, honestly, like 3 straight technically upsets here. This game should be good, but again, I think Houston is just a little bit sketchy here. Baylor versus TCU. I'm taking TCU all the way here. Again, I think they did they lose last week to Kansas State? I think they did. That's actually a tough game. Baylor's always on the edge. Again, I don't see them. Again, they're gonna have to. Again, this isn't really a sustainable play for them. So I'm gonna actually say TCU wins this one. Oklahoma versus South Carolina. South Carolina's kind of gone off the rails this year. Again, they were expected to be pretty good. Had a pretty disappointing week 1 effort that's right. Against, again, a really bad Virginia Tech team. Oklahoma, again, outside their quarterback, who should be the best quarterback in the country, having the same number of touchdowns as interceptions so far this year, they've been pretty solid. Their offense is really concerning, though. I don't think that South Carolina defense, though, is really even that good, so I think it won't be too much of a problem. But again, as long as their defense continues to play the way they're going to play, I think they'll be okay. But again, this will definitely be one of the more ugly wins for them on the season. Again, very disappointing performance from Mateer last week against Texas. Anyway, we'll keep moving on. This is where game day is going. Ole Miss versus Georgia. Georgia's again, I gotta pick them here to be honest with you guys. Trinidad Chambliss, the Ole Miss quarterback's kind of cooled off a little bit the past couple weeks after that insane start. After again taking over for Austin Simmons, who got injured there. But Georgia's just they're a very good team. They unfortunately lost to Bama. I think they're a better team than Ole Miss right now. Again, this definitely is gonna be a good game, especially again in the shrubs or whatever the heck they call them there. I'm going to say Georgia wins this one. Old Dominion versus James Madison. Don't give a rat's who wins this game, but I'm going to say James Madison does because, again, from what I've seen from them so far, they're definitely the better team. Give me Iowa over Penn State. Penn State's lost right now. Iowa's going to make this muddy and gross, and they're going to win it in probably OT or something. Missouri versus Auburn. I got to pick Auburn again, guys. Again, it sucked they lost last week. Again, I don't see Missouri being as good as Georgia. And again, I still think this Auburn team is motivated under Hugh Freeze, and I think this will be, again, a matchup they actually get it done in. Keep moving on. Our last matchup, actually, number 23. We got to put a score for this game. I'll do that after. But Utah versus BYU. Utah is a decent team, but again, with Devin Dampier, but I just don't love what they're doing right now. BYU still 6-0, obviously, but again, they're just not as good as Texas Tech either. So they're a weird team, but I'm gonna stay with BYU here. I'm gonna say they get the late night win here. But anyway, for that game, I'm gonna say Georgia 28 to 21. So what is that? 49 points there for that game. That's what I see that game shaping out to be. We'll save those, and there are your Week 8 college football game day picks. But again, if you have any issues, any opinions on, again, either the Thursday night game or this, again, put your predictions down in the comment section below. I will see you guys for the Thursday night football recap on Friday. Huge week of football coming as well, and also, again, watch those college games as well.
Ball game, and they're scoreless in the last 35 minutes here today. Dalton throws. A.J. Green at the 50. Green off to the races. Green